Last week we heard how Bear Island came up in Boise. This week we're inside the coolest garage. Check out Bear Island Brewing.
Brew process starts in this section here. This is actually the brew house. This is a HLT, it's called the hot liquor tank. And that basically just holds hot water. Okay. We get it at the right temperature. And then this is our mash tun. So we'll fill the grain in here. And you can see inside there's a false bottom. So we'll push the hot water over into here and basically just create a nice little sugar mixture where we can start extracting some of those sugars at different temperatures. Awesome. That's a pretty big basis of how the beer tastes, the mouthfeel. Then it creates the whole structure of the beer, really. And then the grain will stay in here, and then we'll move the sugar water, which we call a wort, over into the boil kettle. And we'll bring it up to a boil, and that's where we'll add hops, or in certain cases jalapenos, whatever other kind of flavors. And when we do Christmas in your mouth, we'll add some cinnamon and some other stuff in here. Once that's done, we're going to do a whirlpool, and that'll help all the protein and particulate, the trub, go down to the bottom in a nice little cone. So when we take everything else out, we're not taking that with it. And then we'll shove it through this guy here. This is a heat exchanger. And basically what it does is cold water comes in one way, and then the hot wort goes the other direction. So it cools it down to 68 degrees. So we'll push it over into one of the tanks. Then we'll add the yeast. And at that point, the yeast just starts fermenting. We don't have anything fermenting right now. We're only cold crashing and carbonating. But then the yeast will do its thing. It'll off gas, creating alcohol and CO2. Then once it's done, we crash it. We bring the temperatures down to help the yeast fall out, to flocculate. Yeah, then we carbonate it.
What's your inspiration behind the carriage-dried pumpkin Belgian ale?
Okay, that one's very personal to me, very nostalgic, because originally I wanted to make a great pumpkin beer. I like pumpkin beers that are made well and with real pumpkin. So the inspiration for that beer is two things. One is, very personally, it's my grandma's pumpkin cookie recipe, and I converted that into beer. And then when it came to what kind of yeast I used to bring out certain notes and so on, I'm a huge Belgian fan. I've been to Belgium. I've talked to 6th-generation family brewers, and my favorite styles are Belgian. I'm a huge fan of Belgian beers. And so it just came together, and I did some trials that way, and I found that the Belgian yeast makes that such a unique, wonderful beer. So there you go.
All right. That leads me into the Tripel tater.
Oh, the triple tater. Tripel,
yeah, the Tripel. First of all, for those who don't know, in basic terms, what is a Tripel?
So in Belgium, they basically do 4 kinds of beers. Really 3, but one is a little more unknown. They usually do a double or a double, a triple or tripel, and a quad or quadruple, And so it goes up in alcohol. And the one that is a little less known, they like to call it monk's beer, is a single, as in it's the lightest one. A fun play on words, because tripel and triple are spelled different, and one is a beer style and one means 3. So we used 3 Idaho potatoes in it. That's why it's triple tater or triple tater.
We understand Neil here. Just explain his role for 2017.
Neil is our first employee. Woo! Anyway, Neil is our first employee, and we told him in the very beginning he'd have to be a jack of all trades, because we need help both on Steve's side and on my side and all over the company, so he's already proven to be very valuable in that manner. We call him our Chief Bear Cub.
Okay.
Or what's your official title?
I mean, that's official around these parts, but technically I would say Chief Brand Coordinator. Is that kind of what we decided?
I think that's what we decided,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. So Neil is a new addition to the Bear Island family. Welcome,
right.
Neil.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, so with 2017, there's rumors of bottles and then possibility of a tap room. Is that right?
So that is our goal. We've been working really hard for a tap room. In fact, we worked for 5 months really hard on a specific building up on the Vista Avenue region, and the owner just decided he didn't want to lease it anymore, or something of that nature, and walked away in the middle of the negotiation. So it really bummed us out, because we were ready for you guys, but back to square one. So we're looking, and by all means, if anybody knows a building in their area where they would love to have a brewery that they could walk to, let us know.
Well, I do have a question with summer coming, summer 2017. What's going on with Summer Spud? Is that something that you're going to bring out this year? Do you know?
I'm so glad you asked about that one. So there are certain recipes and ideas that I have that are top secret until they're released. So we are going to try a new summer seasonal this year. It will not be Summer Spud. While I personally love Summer Spud, everybody and their dog seems to do session IPAs, even though ours is very different. We like to be very different, and so we're going to try a new, unique style and we'll see what y'all think this summer.
It's going to be great.
Right.
No, I believe Mike reached out to me because he wanted local, and Mike's the owner, and I really appreciate that. And they always keep us on tap. You guys are very loyal and very big on local beer, which is really cool because there's some places out there that have mini taps and could absolutely dedicate some to local and then just choose not to. So I love seeing places that adopt the local flavor, literally.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That concludes our very first episode of Based on a Brew Story. As always, if you're looking for fresh craft beer, check us out at Meridian Growler Guys.